Hi. In 1968, Bill Gates was a 13-year-old schoolboy who went to a nearby school in Seattle named Lakeside. There he met his classmate Paul Allen, who was equally interested in technology and science. Lakeside School had the first computer in that entire locality. Not just locality, in that entire state, it was the first time a school was actually having a computer. Not even a university had computer those days. And Paul as well as Bill started working on the computer. They started, working during the off hours, and at nights they started writing codes. They started working around with the computer. They got so fascinated. They started writing programs to help their teachers in assessment of marks. And this went on. One night, Paul was working on the computer, and Bill showed a picture of a magazine, a cover, where a Fortune 500 CEO was featured. And he asked Paul, what does it mean to become a Fortune 500 company? The 13-year-old kids, they didn't know what it actually meant. But decades later, Microsoft became not just a Fortune 500 company, Bill Gates became the world's most richest man at one point of time. Well, this was possible only because the Lakeside School at that time had the first computer. And you know why? Because there was a faculty named Bill Doggle who thought that children need to be exposed into this world of computers and technology. And he insisted the management that we need computer for the children. And he persuaded and arranged funds from different sources to buy the first computer in that entire locality for $3,000. And the rest is history. Imagine those days, 1968, there were more than, let's say, 300 million children across the world, out of which somewhere around, 18 to 20 million kids were in US. And out of which, let's say around, 3 lakh or 5 lakh kids were there in the state of Washington. And in Seattle, maybe somewhere around a lakh of children were there. And yet, only 300 kids went to the Lakeside School, which was the only school which had computer those days. And out of the 300 kids, these two kids became the world masters later. So, my dear friends, what is success actually? Is it just hard work? Of course, we know Bill Gates and his friend was extremely hardworking. And that's why they built Microsoft. But is it just hard work? I think success is not just hard work. It is also a combination of various things. It is a combination of being at the right place at the right time and at the right point of history. Imagine if Bill was not in that 300 kids. Imagine if Bill was among or born in some other country, in a country where you ended up becoming a refugee. You were born into poverty. You never had access to any of these things. Do you think Bill would have made it? No, right? So, before we judge someone about being, or rather considering hard work as the only route to success, or before we judge someone that somebody is poor because he is lazy or she is lazy, let's think for a moment. Probably they did not get the access and the opportunity that somebody else has got. And that sometimes includes you. Stop being judgmental of yourself when you are unable to make it big sometimes, as you thought. You are indeed successful in whichever way, whichever position you are, as long as you are happy and you are able to do what you wanted to do. All the very best to everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.